Hey witches, mystics, manifestors, and people who just like tarot. Welcome to my channel or welcome back to my channel. I'm Ray Luna. For today's pick a card reading, this is a monthly reading for September. What might happen? What messages are you meant to hear for this month ahead? For group number 1, we have Iced Tea and Yellow Aventurine. For group number 2, we have Grapevines and Moss Agate. For group number 3, we have Flower Bouquet and Red Jasper. So take your time and choose what card and crystal's calling out to you the most, and when you're ready, head to the description or comment section to click on the correlating timestamp to receive your reading. As always, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy this reading. Hey group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose Iced Tea and Yellow Aventurine, and then we have Cemetery as a card that was under this. So the first thing I see here is your September is going to be filled with some downtime, either to relax, and for some of you, you are choosing to have more time to relax, but for others of you, this could happen not of your choice, so you are forced to take a break in some way. You are forced to stop and see what is going on around you with yourself and kind of feel things out. So yes, September is filled with slow moments and relaxation, this card mentions. I also see this too as needing to find what helps you de-stress, because this card can appear when you are worried about many things. You have high levels of stress. So you're also being reminded in September to take time to give yourself a break or do something that makes you feel really good. And it's funny because iced tea is one of the drinks I really like. As a kid, I would drink that all the time. I would play video games and get a giant cup of iced tea, right? So this for me is something I really like to drink when I'm trying to relax. And here it is in this card talking about relaxation. So if you don't like iced tea, what is something that is your version of that? Do you like chocolate? Do you like pasta, right? All these yummy foods. Do you like to watch a good movie, a show, listening to music, whatever it is that helps you relax? Spend a lot of time doing that in September. You're also getting the message of whatever you're doing right now, stop. Yes, stop right now. Take a break right now. So if you are listening to this video and doing dishes, or you're listening to this video and you're multitasking, this is saying stop for a minute and give yourself a break so you only do one thing. You're in the moment only doing one thing at a time. You don't always have to do this, but just for this moment, just listen to the video or just do one thing. Don't do many things at once. You're also being urged to focus on that this month as well. This card also talks about needing to take a break, because if you don't, as I mentioned earlier, some of you will choose to take a break. Some of you will be forced to take a break. If you don't give yourself that space to de-stress, stress can harm you. Stress can make things happen where you're forced to need to go to the doctor, or you're forced to take time off of work, whatever it is, right? Sometimes you're forced to do something because it catches up to you. So you don't want this to happen, of course. So that is another reason why there's a big message of rest and relaxation, or focusing on something that gives you joy and less stress. I also see here with the second card, it says, call in the courage to embrace death as part of life's journey, to welcome new beginnings that bring growth and evolution. So for some of you, I do think there is a sense of relaxation from something finally being done in September. Something could be closing out, something could be ended. For some of you, this could be a relationship of some kind ending. But even though it talks about death, even though it talks about making peace with something ending, I don't think this is an end that you're upset about. This could be finally being done with a relationship that you held on to for years, even though it didn't work for you and maybe gave you some stress, right? So now you have less of it. This could be needing something to be finalized so you don't have to keep thinking about it, whether that is a project or some sort of situation involving other people. So there is a sense of relief from things ending, but also needing to take time to discover what is your new beginning. What do you want to start in September? Make sure you're taking the time to plan and figure out, okay, what else do I want to add into my life, and how do I make the time to make that happen or work on that? I also feel death can talk about transformation as well. This also could be, for some reason, I think of like media involving like zombies or death, of course, like transformative situations or stories like that, right? That could be relevant for you in September. Maybe because Halloween's getting closer, you're watching like scary movies or shows with zombies. That's also something that could be relevant for you in some way. It also could be a message of, not being like a zombie, living like you're dead, right? Do something now to feel alive and have whatever version of that makes you feel alive. Do something different, do something new. Take a detour and give yourself a break. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards and see what else comes through. Okay, with these cards here, we have the Chariot, Knight of Swords, Two of Swords, and Wheel of Fortune. So September is also a month for you that is involving mental breakthroughs, right? So this isn't only, like getting clarity on what you want to do. This is finally understanding things that are hindering you, stopping you, and then finding a solution so it's no longer a problem. This is finally having the time to sit down and get out a good cry and process old emotions so new ones can come in. This is finally looking at things and realizing, okay, now I understand why I feel this way. So you're making a lot of progress mentally, positive progress, okay? The Chariot can sometimes talk about being successful with a project or money, stuff like that. But for you guys here, it's definitely related to your mental health, having improvements in your mental health, and not being judgmental with yourself either, right? Like you're looking at things head on without changing the story to feel better, not changing the story or what you think so it's more palatable for you or other people. You're looking at things just as they are so you can fix them or you can improve them or deal with them for a while if you can't make an immediate change, but doing so in a way that's helpful for you or helpful in general. I also see too, the Knight of Swords can indicate overcoming challenges, and it being next to the Chariot, that's like successfully overcoming challenges. There's a lot of wheels, turning, the Wheel of Fortune. So I also see you guys making forward progress in general, but especially, as I said, mental health, but also in general. You could be feeling like a weight is being lifted off your shoulders, of course, as some things end, a relationship ends, and then having all this time to do new things, have new thoughts as well. So with the Knight of Swords, the Two of Swords, this could be something happens where you have to make a choice for where you want to head next. Where do you want to direct your car, your plane, where you're walking, your method of transportation to get to the next point? So you have to make a choice related to this. And September is going to be that time period where you have to not only relax, but you also have to think about where you want to head next and how that will make you feel based on these improvements in your mental health. Or maybe something you're choosing is what is improving that mental health. You're choosing a better situation for yourself. You're choosing better relationships. You're choosing doing better for yourself by giving yourself a break or doing something for you that you really need to instead of just ignoring your wants, your needs, right? So there's also an improvement in the way you treat yourself and recognizing you have certain wants and needs you have to fulfill. Let's try it out this month and see what happens. So I'm going to pull some more cards for your September. Okay, so with these cards here, we have Love, Tomato, Purification, Snapdragon, and Hawk Spirit, Let Spirit Be Your Guide. Okay, so I also see with Libra, Gemini, those signs include like two elements, right? So I also see this including maybe multiple people in September could be important. So this could be multiple love interest here with love, or this also could be multiple people that are helping with a purification process for you. So this could be people who are helping you change things in your life, transform things. This could be having multiple love interest where you're trying to decide who's going to help my life the most, who is going to be the best for me, versus maybe choosing something that might affect your mental health negatively, right? You could be learning to spot people, places, things that aren't good for you and your mental health and making better choices because of that, right? So this could be choosing people that help you get to a better place and you help them as well. But I do see multiple love interest here, or multiple people. This could just be the love interest as well, helping you make a better choice, or they're part of this choice to make something better, do better, choose better. But this is for you. So you're choosing love for yourself and love to get to a better place, because if you hate yourself or if you hate something, it's going to be hard to do things to improve the situation. If you hate yourself or you hate something, it's going to be hard to work on that, right? That's difficult. There is a conflict there. So you're acting with love for yourself and choosing better, doing better. So this is also a month of leaving negative habits behind and learning why you should value yourself more. You should value healthy relationships more. This also could be having better luck finding those good relationships in the first place, right? Because sometimes we understand that, but we have trouble finding people who are genuine or have good intentions too, right? So this also could be having a purification in the area of love, having better options in love, or being able to see problems before they truly, truly become a problem or get really big, become a big problem. I also see with Hawk Spirit here, let Spirit be your guide. This is kind of taking a hands-off approach sometimes during September. So you could be having moments where you're sitting back and letting things unfold. You're not trying to control everything. You might get involved, of course, to make the right choices, do the right things for you, but you're not letting everything get to you. You're letting things happen. You're kind of like, I'll let spirit, the universe, whatever happens, happens, and I'm going to be okay with it for the meantime, right? You're going to let things play out and see what happens while doing your best to make the right choices when they appear in front of you and you have to make a choice. So I hope that makes sense. But overall, you're really going to be transforming your life, doing better for yourself, leaving negative habits behind, and relaxing more and having better mental health this September. So I hope you guys liked your reading. That was all. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't yet, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos like this. I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you have a good September, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hey, group number 2, welcome to your reading. So you chose Grapevines and Moss Agate, and here we have another card that was under this one as a surprise. So for your month of September, the first thing I see here with Grapevines, it says, call on your desires, as this is the time to ask and receive. So the universe is really wanting you to focus on those big goals, those big dreams. What do you want to achieve? What do you desire? And how can you work on that in a way that will more likely have it come true or increase its chance of happening even by 1%? If you do a bunch of little changes here and there that improve that chance of it happening by 1%, that could suddenly be 5% increase of the chance of that happening, 20% increase of likelihood of that happening, right? So this is saying a lot of your little habits here and there can add up to something great, even a dream or a desire of yours manifesting. So think about that. This also talks about a time of feeling abundant in some way, because grapes are a symbol of wealth, prosperity. So you could be feeling good about the savings you have, right? Your bank account. You could be feeling good about what you're building in your life outside of just money. You could be feeling like you have a lot that makes you feel stable. This could be having good relationships, that connection with the grapevines, right? Vines can indicate communication, so you could be having good communication with friends and family. You could be building networks with people, which also makes you feel prosperous and secure. So your connections, community, and what you want to build, that is also really important for your September and will be a focus for you. I also want to say as well, you guys could be focusing on like manifestation, trying to be more positive, focusing on the bright side of things in September. And I also see that working out well for you. And with your other card here, Garden Tools, I really like this card. It says, you must summon the courage and strength to acquire the resources you need. So interestingly, here we have a card talking about already having abundance and resources. This is the right time to want and work on those things. But then we have this other card of using tools to assist you, right? Needing to fight for something to get those resources. So there could be situations in September where you might need accommodations, or you could use a tool to make things easier for you, right? So this is like if you are short, you might need a stool to stand on it and reach the top shelf if you can't reach it otherwise because you're too short, right? That's a way you can use a tool to help you and make your life easier if something's difficult. So you're also being called in September to look at your life and realize, how are you making things more difficult? You might not realize this, okay? I'm not saying you're doing this on purpose. You could be making your life more difficult when there are accommodations, there are tools you can use to make your life easier or save you more time, right? And with garden tools, this makes me think of if you have certain plants, right? You might have to cut parts of the plant off to make it grow better or for it to be healthier. So I have some tomato plants in my garden, and some of the leaves will yellow and they'll start dying. So you have to cut those off so the plant is healthier. So you guys have to either use some sort of tool to do that, right? Instead of me just using my hands to pluck those dead leaves off, which I can do, I can use a cutter, which makes that process easier, faster, instead of just doing it myself. So you can still do something yourself without help, without tools, but there's an easier method and way you're going to be realizing to get to these goals and manifestations. Maybe you're manifesting a lot because you're now investing in using tools for your goals and dreams. Maybe you're investing in connections and people can help you as a tool, not to compare people to tools, but it could be like people are that connection that opens up many doors for you, right? Respectfully. So whether it's a physical tool or an idea, people helping you, there is some sort of lesson here you are going to be learning that improves your life to get more resources. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards and see what else comes out. Okay, with these cards, we have the Knight of Swords, Seven of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and Six of Swords. And it's funny because group number 1 got 2 of these cards here, Knight of Swords and Wheel of Fortune. So this could be some sort of collective energy. There's a lot of fast movement, changes of direction that are happening. So this could be like you're choosing to change the direction you're going in life. You could be choosing to change your focus in September compared to the earlier months of the year, right? You could be changing the way you're approaching things, the way you're doing things, right? You could be deciding, okay, I'm going to be more positive this month because the other months I was kind of sad and depressed, but now I'm sick of being sad and depressed. So I'm going to try being positive, even if things are still challenging or I have valid reasons to have those feelings, right? This could be having something shift for you that gives you more options in the first place in September compared to how it was before, right? So there's a lot of changes in the way you're seeing things and the way you're doing things. The Knight of Swords also talks about overcoming challenges. So you could be really smart or use your cunning, right, in September to figure out how to solve your problems. Maybe a big theme here is working smarter, not harder. Same thing with the tools. So you're really becoming more intelligent and you're learning how to do less work and exert yourself less, but get more out of it. Okay, that's a big thing I'm seeing. The Seven of Cups too talks about like daydreaming, seeing many different solutions, options, different paths you want to go down, and then finally choosing something and moving forward with it, leaving the past behind with the Six of Swords, moving away from the way things were to something new that works better for you. I also feel like the Six of Swords can indicate healing from something, healing from a lot of turbulence, possibly with the Wheel of Fortune being here and the Seven of Cups. You could be healing from not feeling like something is possible, healing from just dealing with a lot of difficulty or stress. That's also a big collective theme I see, not only for you, but like other readings I'm doing. There's a big push collectively for people to move away from stress or things that are bothering them and find a way to relax and heal from that. So that's also something you're doing this September. So I'm going to pull some more cards and see what else comes through for you. Okay, with these cards here, we have Emotion, Cucumber, Agreement, Strawberry, and Be Spirit, Sweet Results Await. And with these 2 cards up here, we have Cancer and Libra for zodiac signs or energy. So, of course, Cancer has to do with emotions and Libra can be balancing things out. So yes, you're balancing out your emotions. For a lot of you, that could be having these extreme emotions and they kind of mellow out in September. This could be, as I said earlier, having a more positive mindset versus how you felt before. But overall, you're controlling your emotions more so they don't cloud your judgment, or you're controlling your emotions so that you're not feeling things so intensely or extreme. So if something good happens, of course you feel that and you're excited. But if something bad happens, you also feel that. You'll process that, but you don't let it defeat you and end everything. So there's a moving away from extreme emotions, whether it's positive or negative. You're trying to be mellow, calm, relaxed, and balance things out so you can make progress and think about things in a sound way. I also feel like with Strawberry, it talks about agreement. So this is Also mentioning those connections. Okay, so social life is going to be doing well for you in September, or the chance of making new connections that help you is there. This can be feeling more agreeable, being less irritated with people, so that's also a good sign. You could be someone who gets irritated easily with people because they could always want to disagree with you, even if they actually agree with you, right? People who will listen to what you say and then be like, oh no, it's actually like this, but they really just reworded what you said to sound original, but it's like, you just said the same thing I did, just differently. You worded it differently. Why don't you see I agree with you? Why are you disagreeing with me? Right? You could be someone who deals with situations like that, where people just want to disagree with you. But this month, I do see more people agreeing with you, more people seeing eye to eye and not doing this annoying thing, okay? There's less people disagreeing with you just to disagree with you, even though they actually agree. And I also feel like you're going to be feeling more happy around people this month. You're going to be feeling like you want to agree with them as well, right? Like you don't want to fight them either. You just want to nod your head and be like, yeah, let's do this. Let's have fun. So there's a change in your connections with other people, which is also bringing in more positive emotions. So that also could be why your social life is improving, because the luck is just there for you to have those good connections, to have those good moments. And lastly here, we have bee spirit. So bees make me think of someone who works hard and is always going to get that honey, right? To feed the hive. So I also see this too as previous months have passed. You could be getting a reward for your previous work, right? Because bees have to visit many different flowers. They have to go back to the hive, back and forth. That is a lot of work over a long period of time. So for you guys, you're getting some sort of reward, your honey, for all the effort you put in, all the hours of time you put in, like those bees visiting the hive over and over again. You are getting some sort of reward or manifestation because of a lot of effort you put in. So what have you worked on for a long period of time that you know you spent hours and hours on? You're likely getting a reward there. So for some of you, it could be your social life. Like you spent a lot of time trying to build connections with people. Now it's finally paying off. For others of you, you could have been teaching yourself to be using more strategy, using more tools, right? Improving your skill set and figuring out how you can do less work for more. And now you're finally getting that reward from that. But also, I also think of sweet results, a way of just having more moments that are sweet, that make you feel good and are enjoyable. So this is an enjoyable month for you, group number 2. And it seems to be a collective thing where September seems to be a more positive month for people. So hopefully that is true and you guys experience that, and others as well. So I hope you guys liked the reading. That was it. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos like this. I hope you guys enjoyed the reading. I hope you have a good month ahead, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Hey, group number 3, welcome to your reading. So you chose Flower Bouquet and Red Jasper, and then here we have Craftsmanship as your surprise card underneath this one. So for your September here with Flower Bouquet, the first thing I see is, yes, just enjoying little moments here and there. So September is going to be a month where you're really grateful for that hot cup of tea or coffee. Some of you could be literally receiving a flower bouquet. You guys could be just happy in your day-to-day, right? Like every little moment, you're romanticizing it, you're appreciating it just to have it. So September is a month of living in the present moment. You're not focusing too much on the past or the future. You're living in the present moment and enjoying every single second. There's also a collective message here all the piles had a message of needing to slow down and relax in the moment and enjoy life more. Enjoy what is happening, right? So you guys have that same message of looking around you and finding out what do you like and engaging with it, right? Life is too short to not have those moments where you just fully enjoy something. You just take the time to really engage with something you like, because a lot of us have to work or do many different things we might not always like to get what we want or to maintain our lives, whatever, right? So give yourself those little moments here and there to just enjoy life, just have an enjoyable moment for yourself, and that will improve your health, your mental health, and make you feel better overall. So that is a big collective message for everyone. There's also a message for you that is reflecting on your work, your skill set. So you guys could be learning how to be a craftsman in some way, right? Like, what is your talent and skill you're working on, and really appreciating how far you have come with that skill, or if you're just starting. So you're appreciating the process of trial and error, seeing how your skill might not be perfect at first, right? We don't all start off as an expert, but over time you start to see that skill improve. So for instance, if you play guitar, you have to get used to your fingers stretching out more to hit all the notes. At first, it's really challenging, but the more you play, the more you practice, it gets a lot easier. You learn proper hand positioning. That's something that comes with time and it gets better. But at first, it can be challenging to overcome that block. So you guys could be experiencing in September some sort of block with a skill of yours, but it's not really a block. It's for you to get better and improve that skill, so eventually you can be a master, right? It doesn't have to be guitar, but whatever your version of guitar is that you're working on, that you're having a problem with, keep at it. You could be an expert at that skill one day, but you have to look at that moment of challenge and figure out, okay, how can I overcome this? And you overcome it by practicing. You overcome it by doing it again, or listening to people further along in this craft or this skill and seeing how they got better, right? So that is something you're also going to be encountering, is a challenge with a skill or something you're working on, but it's for your benefit. And once you overcome it, you're going to be more talented and even better at it. So I'm going to pull some tarot cards and see what else comes through. Okay, so with these cards here, we have the Nine of Wands, Five of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the Emperor. So the Nine of Wands, this can indicate feeling suspicious or feeling like you're exhausted in some way. So this could be related to a situation where you feel like you're getting criticism, or someone could be trying to offer you some sort of assistance and maybe you don't want to take it. So there's also the message here of being open-minded to criticism, right? Being open-minded to feedback, because someone could be giving you some sort of advice or trying to help you, but you might not be perceiving it in a helpful way. But I do feel here there is someone trying to help you. I don't feel like this is someone who's necessarily like giving you fake advice to sabotage you. I don't feel like this is someone who wants to see you do bad, but you could be feeling suspicious about some sort of criticism or advice. So of course, use your own discernment to figure out this person's intentions, but some of you could be feeling defensive towards some sort of goal or project. It could even be the skill you're working on. Someone could be giving you feedback to improve that and you might not like it, but there is a message here to be open to what someone has to say, because it's not all bad. It's not all like criticism in a way to harm you. There's criticism here in a way to help you. And you had that message too of having some sort of block you have to overcome to get better. So I would just be open-minded to that and, use your discernment to make sure It is true and genuine advice, but I do think you will see an improvement. And once you're more open-minded too, whatever this block is, that could be easier to overcome once you're feeling that energy of, okay, it doesn't have to be exactly this way. I could try this, I could try that, right? So that open-mindedness is really going to help you as well in September as you learn to be a little bit more open. You accept that energy of being more open, and you listen to maybe some sort of advice you don't want to take at first, or you could just be defensive, okay? And with the Eight of Swords too, that indicates being closed off to something or feeling stuck in a situation. But usually this situation, it could be seeming worse than it actually is, right? Like you could be stuck in a situation, but you're not seeing the solution, even though there is one. But I feel like you're having some sort of moment of frustration or moments of frustration in September because you can't fully control something, right? The Emperor talks about having control over something and making things go your way. So there's going to be some things that don't go your way in September. But once again, you have that message that you had with the craftsman. So this could be related, but also a different situation. And for some of you, it could be both. Okay. I see this as letting go of that control is what gives you that progress, along with being open-minded. And this also could be you are someone who could be used to being an expert in some way. You could be used to always easily succeeding, right? Like using your intuition to succeed. But there is something you're encountering where it's like you can't just approach it or fix it with your intuition. It could be something that you have to spend hours on to be good at it. You have to spend years at it to be really good at it, and that could be hard for you. So you're also learning on this journey how to be a master in September. You're learning how to develop patience in September for a better result with your skills or for yourself in general. So I'm going to pull some more cards and see what else comes out. Okay, with these cards here, we have abundance and continuance. So here's Sagittarius and Capricorn, those energies. So of course, Capricorn is all about hard work and not giving up, continuing, and that makes sense with continuance. So yes, you have to stick with it with something in September. You're going to be rewarded with abundance, okay? So remember that. Don't ever give up here, because your grit, your perseverance, that's what can make you win. That is what can give you a lot of good. There's also the message too of abundance, of having a skill or being so unique that you can't be replaced. So I think of a doctor, right? So like in some movies and shows, like apocalyptic situations, right? Like a doctor is someone who will always be important, right? And be protected because they have a skill no one else has, and a doctor can save lives. They can heal wounds, right? So you guys have some sort of skill or talent like a doctor in an apocalyptic situation, right? You can't be replaced. So people are less likely to harm you or do something to you because you're so needed, right? You're so irreplaceable because of some unique skill and talent you have. So also in September, you could be realizing how you're irreplaceable because of your personality. As I said, a skill set of yours in some way. You also could be wanting to work towards being like that doctor in an apocalyptic situation. You might want to be the person who's irreplaceable. So you could be building this up, and there could be frustration too with not being able to do this overnight. But this is something you're not going to be able to do overnight. So there's a lot of things you want to do to improve your situation, and that's good. But you also have to give yourself time, okay? You have time to make the changes you want, okay? You can't do everything in one day, 1 month even, right? So all these messages here, right? It's about September, but this is going to be a journey past September, okay? This is something that's going to be a long-term situation of you wanting to be better, wanting to be that person everyone relies on so you can't lose your job, or you're protected and respected, right? And that's okay to want those things. It's okay to have those things. Some of you, you might already be there, but a lot of you are working towards that. And you might be halfway in that process, right? This is saying, though, give yourself credit where credit's due, and don't make yourself suffer more than you have to, because you could be kicking yourself, being like, oh, why am I not further ahead, when you're right there, or you're halfway there, and you just need to work a little bit more. You just need a little bit more time. So please give yourself a moment where you appreciate how you're already irreplaceable, or how you are irreplaceable in some way, and respect that. Don't keep wishing to be different than how you are, or thinking about how much better you can be. There's a lot you have already that's giving you abundance and will give you more abundance. I also feel too, with Snake Spirit, it talks about time to heal, right? This could be talking about you need to heal some sort of wound, right? In September, you could need to heal maybe that suspicion when it comes to criticism. There could be real valid criticism people want to give you, so you reach this state of abundance, or that status of a doctor who is the only one who can heal those wounds or save people in a dire situation, right? So people could want you to get to that point, but you have to learn, okay, like, there is trustworthy people. Not everyone's a snake, right? Like, protecting yourself's good, but you have to shed some of the old wounds, shed some of that old skin, the old things you're holding on to, and see how someone could be helping you, seeing how someone could be protecting you, because they also see how valuable you are, okay? So that is what I see here for your September. I hope you guys like the reading. Like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any other videos like this. I hope you guys have a great September. I hope this reading has helped you in some way, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.